Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Zesty, and on this channel I like to do DIYs, lifestyle videos, and recipes. Today I have a really fun and exciting project that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. It is an air dry clay piece and I am very proud of it. So I'm really excited to show you how I made this Grecian head pot that was heavily inspired by the Grecian bust pot from Anthropologie. It almost looks like a dupe, but it is a little different, so I'm gonna say that it is similar to it but not the same. I'm really excited to show you guys the process and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. All right, let's get into it. I've seen this type of natural modeling clay at Dollarama and I've always wanted to try it, so I picked up 8 packages of it for this project. I also picked up this clay tool set for $10 from HomeSense, which is similar to a Home Goods in the States if I'm not mistaken. I also found this foam head at the Dollarama that I used as my base. I started by tracing a circle at the top and I then used a paring knife to cut out a hole big enough for a small plant to fit inside. This was a little tedious and I would definitely recommend being very careful with your knife here. Once I was satisfied with how that looked, I opened up my first package of natural modeling clay and I started softening it out with my hands. I did find this clay a lot softer than the Crayola brand of air dry clay that I usually use. So I started by filling the hole and really pressing it into the foam so that I would have a nice thick layer to work with and be able to sculpt all around the head. I wasn't really sure how much clay to use at first, but I ended up using about 4 to 5 packages on just the base, which I think was a perfect amount. From here on out, things did get a little weird. I do want to be clear, I've never actually done anything like this before, so I really just went with the flow here and tried my best to work in sections to essentially sculpt my little lady. So after I had a base, I started by adding more clay around the nose area to build the bridge of the nose, and I used some water to smooth out the area as I was sculpting. In this step, I primarily used my hands. I then moved on to the eyes. And I decided to use one of the tools to dig out the eye sockets, which sounds really weird when I say it, but yeah, that's basically what I did. Here I am rolling 2 little balls of clay for the eyes. I also made some eyelids that I placed on top. And to add more definition to the eyelids, I lined them with some thin pieces of clay that I had rolled out, and I used some water to adhere those on. After that, I bounced back to the nose area. I felt comfortable enough to use one of the tools to give it a little more shape and definition. I used a Sharpie to help shape the nostrils, and you'll notice that I just kept smoothing the area over as I worked to shape her features. Looking at a picture of a sculpture was really helpful in this step. I knew that for the lips, I wanted to give her a nice Cupid's bow shape. I used the Sharpie and my fingers to shape the upper lip area, and I used a tool to carve and shape the lips. After that, I moved on to the eyebrows. I added a little more clay to each one for more definition and smoothed that over with some water. I then started working on her hair. I added quite a bit of clay to the top and the back of her hair for the base. And I also rolled out some hair strands that I primarily used for the front area. When I was placing these, I was making sure to really press them into the rest of the clay to avoid cracking. And I used a combination of different tools and my hands to shape the hair strands to my liking. After the front of her hair was done, I added some ears. I don't know why these were so hard for me, but I kept having to look at my husband's ears to get these right. After those were done, I added a little more hair and decided to take a break. The next day, I came back to a really cracked lady head. Oh my gosh, guys, I did expect some cracks, but not this. No worries though, I was able to patch up all of the cracks using some slip, which is basically soft clay mixed with some water, and this kind of acts as a paste or glue when working with air dry clay. The ratio is about 1:3 air dry clay to water. I really think this natural clay from Dollarama cracked way more than the Crayola one would have, as it is a lot softer. So I do have to warn you all, this is a more delicate kind of clay to work with. As you can see here, I used a combination of water, slip, and a paintbrush to patch everything up. Once I fixed up the cracks, I moved on to adding more hair to the back of her head. I knew the back wasn't going to be a focal point, so I went with a more simple design. Once that all dried up, it did crack a little bit, so I went ahead and patched it up with some more slip. For the leaves, I rolled out a thick piece of clay, making sure it was even on all sides, and I traced and cut out some leaves. I also use my fingers to shape them before carving out the design on each one. To adhere those on, I use some slip, and I firmly pressed each one of those leaves on. So this is what they look like after they dried. Not too many cracks, which was great. So I just went ahead and went around and did a few touch-ups with some more slip. To finish off the back, I added some more hair to the bottom of the head that matched the top. And I also added a few more strands to bring it all together. After she was dry, I sanded her down with some 220 grit sandpaper. And I also used one of the tools to help with tough bumpy spots. One thing that really helped was using a handheld vacuum while sanding. I found it easier to see my progress and it made this step a lot less dusty. After sanding, I ended up collecting some of the dried clay from the table and making a little paste with Mod Podge so that I could use it to reinforce the base of the head pot. There was actually a spot on the back that fell off while sanding, and I took the opportunity to glue that down and reinforce any spots that I thought could crack easily when moved. Once dried, I sanded the area down a little to get rid of any big bumps or bubbles. And then I covered it with some slip to blend in any glossy spots. I also coated the plant holder area with some Mod Podge to protect it a little bit. I did some last minute light sanding on her. And to finish off, I used a damp paper towel to get rid of any loose clay and to smooth out her face and features. Here's what she looks like with a plant. I think she turned out so pretty. I love her and I am very happy with how she turned out.
If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed the video and I hope that it has inspired you to create something new. If you did like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me, you can subscribe to my channel. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next one.